Today we're in our ambassador building and I'm here with some of our newest additions, actually 7 of them, our baby hedgehogs, also known as hoglets. So we welcomed 8 baby hedgehogs to Mom Cookie and Dad Newton on February 13th. 8 hedgehogs is a huge litter. Normally, litter size averages between 4 and 5 babies, but we had a really big litter. Unfortunately, one of them didn't make it, but we still have 7, and they are still getting bigger and stronger and more adventurous every day. Knowing that we wanted to work on sustaining our own collection of hedgehogs here at the zoo while also potentially providing to other zoos out there, we wanted to make sure that we are breeding and housing healthy hedgehogs that are gonna hopefully live a long life here at the zoo and make good ambassador animals. So our animal care staff handles them regularly and makes sure that they are getting the socialization that they need. So no matter where they are going to another zoo, we are making sure that everybody is set up for success, that these animals are comfortable and fit those needs of ambassador collection so that way they can continue educating people about their species. So we decided to breed hedgehogs here. That way we can focus on breeding healthy hedgehogs, being able to handle them so that way they make good ambassador animals, and then knowing that we are a reliable source for other zoos to come to should they decide to add them to their collection. So when we're breeding animals here at the zoo, whether it's a hedgehog or a different animal that you would see out on exhibit, we want to make sure that we're breeding compatible pairs. So we want to know that we have all the health history needed for that animal. We know everything that's happened in the past, so that way we are setting everyone up for success. So that way if other zoos are looking at acquiring animals from us, we can go back through all of our records and give them anything that's happened in the past, and that way they know that we are a reliable source and they are getting a good animal. So before we started breeding hedgehogs, we obviously did lots of research. Like I said, we've been discussing it for a few years now, so we really sat down and kind of figured out all the things that need to happen to breed hedgehogs, so that way we're setting ourselves up for success, we're setting the animals up for success, and we're doing things the right way. Hedgehogs are considered exotic animals in the small animal world, so a lot of times when people get them as pets, it's really difficult to find a vet clinic that will actually see hedgehogs. And that's one thing that we have going for us here at the zoo is we have vets on site that are actually educated to specifically treat these animals and care for these animals, just like any of the animals here in the zoo. We just have additional resources that provide us to give these animals the best possible care that we can. When we were looking at breeding, again, we found a couple individuals, a mom and a dad, that were compatible together and had no history of health concerns or anything like that. They lived together for about 2 to 3 weeks, and between that 2 and 3 week period, we did ultrasound on Mom, at which time we did confirm pregnancy. So once we confirmed pregnancy, we moved Mom to a special enclosure that she would live in while giving birth and until the babies are weaned. It's really important that Mom and the babies get disturbed as little as possible, so we made sure we put her in a space that typically is quieter. We hung a blanket over the enclosure to block out any outside disturbances as much as possible. We were pretty hands-off the first 2 weeks, so we pretty much only went in daily to give fresh food and water, clean up any messes, and check to make sure that everybody was alive and doing well. Between 3 and 4 weeks is when the babies start kind of trying out some solid foods. They are a little over 4 weeks old now, and they're all officially eating solid foods. Once they reach 6 weeks, they will be separated from Mom, as they should be officially weaned by that point. And then between 8 and 10 weeks old, they will be heading off to their new homes at other zoos, where they will become ambassador animals for those facilities and educate people all about their species. Zoos and aquariums fall under one big network, so it really allows facilities to collaborate and work with one another to achieve similar goals. If we don't find ways to keep those species and populations existing within zoos, people might never have the chance to experience those animals, and they could potentially go extinct altogether. Now I'm talking not just your giraffes and your tigers and those big animals that we're all familiar with, but even little animals like the turtles in your backyard. They are just as at risk as the big animals that live out in the forests. So we have what's called a species survival plan. And again, that's matching up compatible individuals through planned breeding so that way we can keep and sustain healthy populations and provide to other facilities that are also trying to maintain their populations as well. We hope to continue breeding hedgehogs here at Blank Park Zoo. As long as we continue to get good outcomes, as long as mom and the future babies continue to do well and are staying healthy, and as long as other facilities remain interested, we definitely are hopeful to see more baby hedgehogs here in the future.